Alright, today we're talking about gas and gas guns. This is more of a noob-friendly video for people that may have just got the first gas gun and they don't know what the hell all these colours mean. But for people that may be familiar with gas, stick around, you might learn something anyway. Let's get into it. The number one thing I see usually when people get gas guns for the first time is they make the mistake of thinking that each one of these is exactly the same as each other, and it does not matter which one you use, it will always work. And trust me, this is not the case. If you use the wrong one in the wrong temperature, the gun may not perform at all. It may perform a little bit, but not as intended, or it could even perform exactly as it was meant to. That's the level of difference we are talking about when we are using all these different gas types. So each one of these bottles basically has a different type of pressure built inside of it, and it is heavily reliant on what temperature you are testing in or playing in, as that pressure will be needed to make the gun work properly. However, if the temperature is not suitable for the gas you are using, the pressure can either increase or decrease. For example, if it gets colder, the pressure will decrease and then you have to go up one pressure of gas. So for example, let's say this one, the Newpro 1.0, this is the lowest one of the four here. This is a summertime gas for sure. I would use this in 20 degrees and up in my MK23s. However, this will not do good enough when it gets colder, like let's say it drops below 20. That's when I switch to the green. What you're trying to do here is account for the temperature decreasing the pressure while using a higher pressure of gas. So you want to kind of always maintain the same level of gas, the same pressure of gas while accounting for the cold. And the same works vice versa with keeping the pressure at the same level as it gets hotter. So if I were to use this in 20 degrees Celsius and up, I'll have a little thing here to say what that is in Fahrenheit. It would break the seals. If you were to use this in an MK23 magazine at 20 degrees and up, you would break the magazine seals instantly. The gun would shoot, yes, but the seals would break. And with MK23s in particular, you really have to be careful not to break the seals because it's always super easy to do. So to demonstrate how all this different gas works together, we're going to demonstrate it in an SSP-1 from Northridge. So the reason I'm using the SSP-1 is because I think it is the pistol where gas matters the absolute most because the slide is just so heavy. So you actually have to use the highest pressure gas well into the 20s. I think you could even use it all the way up to 30 degrees if you like, but that's just a matter of personal preference. So, to demonstrate, we're going to take the SSP-1 and load it with the black gas. It is currently 20 degrees where I am now in Austria, so this is the perfect gas for it. Okay, so, just to clarify, there's no BBs in this, so no safety needed, but glasses anyway. You never know. Okay, so we'll do 10 shots, 10-20 shots, and you'll see that it's working just fine. See, there we go. We managed to get a good number of shots out of that, and there is still plenty of gas inside the magazine. So if you just see, plenty left. Now, the only real occasion you would switch to a lighter gas with this is if you're having a heat wave, basically, because this slide is so very heavy. Now, let's get the rest of that out. Now, a lot of people, because the typical term for this used on the market is green gas, so a lot of people make the mistake of going for the green option. Like, you know, the option that's literally got green on the bottle. So if you do this at the exact same temperature, the gun will actually underperform. And as a side note, if you're changing pressures say you just had a higher pressure gas in the magazine and you're switching to a lower one, you've got to basically dump the pressure out of the mag. So basically what you do is alright, let's see how it does. Yeah, it's already going. So that's not a full magazine's worth of the shots yet, and it's already shooting very light. This is because of the pressure we were talking about. There is just not enough of it in the gas can, like in this case, because the temperature's not high enough, so there's not enough pressure basically. Now, what happens if we use 1.0, which they recommend for you to never ever use, because it's the lowest of all of them? Let's take a look. Okay. See? It's far too low. Yeah, and out it goes already, because the pressure is just not high enough. So, we talked about, you know, gas, how it works with the heat, and basically what gas you need to use when it gets hotter. Now I'm going to pull out a magazine from my freezer to see how this one works when it gets colder. I pre-filled it, of course, put it in the freezer, so let's try it out. In theory, it should work a little less better, but let's see. This has just come out of my freezer. It was in there for about 10-20 minutes. This should basically simulate how the same gas here works in the winter. So let's see how it does. And there you go. So basically, what's happened here is the cold has made the magazine pressure decrease so much that it's just not able to operate anymore. And there's still plenty of gas in there, unless it does that. And just to clarify, I was using two different magazines, so I didn't just take the one that I had used for the last 5 to 10 minutes, because that would be a bit unfair. This was in my freezer before I even started the video, and it was filled with this gas here. Time to put this in the fridge. Okay, so my conclusion basically is, if you got your first Airsoft Gas pistol or rifle, take the time to test different gases with your gun. Don't be shy to just, you know, spend the money to get each gas type. The chances are you will be using them all year round anyway. You just need to know which one to switch to for which temperature, so that your gun is basically working perfectly and it's not going to underperform depending on what the temperature drops are or the temperature rises are, and at the same time you may even save your seals while doing it. Okay, that's it from me. I'm not quite sure how many more studio videos I'm going to be doing, but if it works, it works. I might get more into it. Let's just see what happens. Anyway, I hope you learned something. If I missed something or maybe got something wrong, you know, feel free to leave it in the comments, you know. Anyway, see you guys in the next one. Okay, I need my fucking tea. Ugh. Right, I better open some windows before my girlfriend comes back, because blimey, Nimrod stinks.